Watch list is cooked. Cooked stew. What up, what up? Good morning. The watch list is looking a little slow. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky business. Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Remember to keep in mind to go slow first. Utilize simulator, small size, until you are consistent. With that being said, also remember that I will never message you first, okay? Wrong chat. Am I in the P&L chat? Okay, that's fine. I kind of thought that was strange when I saw that last post, but that's okay. Let me just double check the YouTube audio. Looks good. And we are go. So the watch list, SGBX. Let me take a look at this one. SGBX might be the top dog stock to keep an eye on here because MNDR and MHEN are not really looking that good. This one, of course, was moving a little bit, like, I think towards the end of the live stream. We were at the max loss, so we called it, but it's good to see a stock hold up here and continue. Honestly, the other two just, in my opinion, are just not looking as good. So I'm thinking this will be the main stock. Unless MNDR can, give a red to green over the VWAP and get over 340 for a push to 4. Yeah, so, after hours yesterday, we got up to 789. So far today, around 740 pre-market highs, and we're currently at 706. So I'd say it's holding up fairly well. It's been a long time since we saw stock at this price range during the open here for the first, hour at least. So definitely not bad to see SGBX. Will it hold up though? Is the question. As we got 4 minutes to the opening bell. With this type of price range, I'll be using smaller size, not the normal 3-4K blocks, but instead a couple hundred shares. And may use a little bit more size depending on if we see a really good opportunity. Especially if we're able to connect nicely, we can push it a little bit. Hmm. All right. SGBX, the main watch list stock. FRGT. Let's see. Although it's down from yesterday's levels, though. Time. Time is. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. So we had two brutal red days the last 2 days, down 988 and then 600. So the goal is today, small green. Small green is the goal. So we're down about 1,500 the last 2 days. Not what we want at all. SGBX. We got 15 seconds, and we got lows here around 680s. Will we respect the VWAP level? Let's see what it does. I did throw out an order there. I'm not sure why I didn't get filled. MHEN, lighter volume move. It's early, right? We got first two candles here. First two candles. I definitely want to remind myself of the hold times that it's gonna take. The halt is actually 63. I'm gonna watch the pullback here. We gotta watch out for potential Christmas tree, but looking to start a position. 5-minute candlestick still holding up. Can we hold the whole dollar area? Low right there, 93. The 1-minute candle to make the new high is back over 720. Will we see over 720 here and then a potential retest of 3540 area? What's the name of this ticker? SGBX. All right. I'm trying to keep the whole time in mind to just, give it a little bit more time to really get to where it needs to be. We're not really seeing a lot of the immediate moves as much, so just trying to give it a little bit of time in the trade. We definitely could have done with more size. I only had 700 shares down there, so in the next setup, we got to get a little bit more shares. $740 area was pre-market highs. I'm holding now just a couple shares and just watching to see what it does. Again, the risk I think right now is the Christmas tree. But if we can continue to hold up key support levels, including VWAP, we can stand a chance at holding our ground and potentially getting over that pre-market high. And the moves definitely are slower to play out without a doubt. A stock like this typically would take 10 seconds rather, to go from 7 to 750 on that bounce. Instead, it was like a 2-3 minutes. I didn't go all the way with size in case we had a bit of a newer low, but so far holding up. Definitely wanted at least 1,000 shares though. But again, tighter stops and just, I gotta hold this thing diamond hands. If it doesn't go, then that's fine. But it either needs to go or I stop out at the lows of the support. Nothing in between. Gotta slam a little bit more size though. We needed a little bit more size there. We did mention it. Damn, bro, we needed that size. Holy smokes. The halt is at 99. Shit, man. Damn. That could have been so much better. We're holding 15 shares into the halt. Now, that's more of what we would expect from prior markets. Like that quickness of that red to green right there. That was pretty fast. Why did I not take the size, bro? I needed to hit that buy button 2, 3 more times. See, that's the difference, right, in execution. That would have already had me at like 1500 on the day. Because with 1,000 shares plus, we're making at least 70 cents right there, which is a massive difference. Gotta execute all the way through. So we're halted up with a surprise move here, some surprise aggression. We're halted up even over after our highs. Definitely was expecting to be holding there for at least 5 minutes, but it happened more old-fashioned, right? Quicker move there. So the VWAP key level held up. We're halted up. Expectations. We are going to be up pretty high, and so I think the first pullback is going to be key. And from there, let's see how it does. It's going to be risky, being that we're extended, but if we can get a good, clean pullback to hold again out of the resumption for the dip and rip trade, there can be an opportunity there. There's no FOMO for me here. It's a matter of just execution, right? Like I mentioned, hey, once this thing pulls back again, I gotta try to get a little bit more size. And we came to our key level. Can't fall victim into thinking we're gonna linger down there every time, Gotta just go for it, and as long as we're close enough, that's all that matters. There's 2 minutes, 40 seconds to resumption. Oh man, okay. 2 minutes to resumption. I know, like the issue I have right now is that I know it's going to be risky here, right? Because resumption trades are obviously more risky, right? Like the volume is so high. I would have loved to be able to risk more if I had more size down there. So I'm thinking, do I really want to push it and like go bigger size here? Slow and steady. I think just slow and steady will be the way. Sometimes these stocks can go right back to moving slower as well, so got to keep that in mind. 56 seconds. I do like the dip if we get the dip early and right away, but the risk is always a Christmas tree, right? But the stock seems pretty bullish. I do think I'd try it, as in like a panic flush kind of dip, but there's going to be risk as usual. 5 seconds, we're at 7.99. Ah, man. I might add if it's good enough. And I'm going to try it again for the ad. Can we push through A10? Not quite. So it's a bit of a double top at 810 area. A little bit of resistance. It looks like we'll get more candlesticks rather than like another big move right away. So we're a little extended, just watching and waiting. Got to be careful of the 5-minute candlestick. Going full Christmas tree, I think, is still the bigger risk. Like holding longer is just like such a battle here, you know? It's definitely under a little bit of stress. Can we continue to hold? Gonna watch to get back in if we can. What is it gonna be? Up or down? Okay, I'm gonna add. I don't know if I got all the fills, but I tried to. Can we see back over 810, 815 here? KB, where are those bulls? Are the bulls still alive? We're seeing some volume here coming into 8. We're seeing some buying, watching. Can we see 815 and a new high? Oh, jeez, Louise, I tell you. Right as I'm trying to get some fills up there, I'm still holding shares. Can we try again? Trailing stop though. Trailing stop for me just in case it doesn't want to go right away in this push. And bro, it's crazy how much longer we have to hold for the same exact trade. Like this would have already been an 860 in a hot market like that we're used to, you know? In 10 seconds. And we're here in this trade for X amount of minutes. It's rejecting. Small size again. Yeah, we're not holding there. You see, what I don't like is that I'm up $600, right? Like, you know, green is good, but we kind of messed up with not taking more size sooner. You know, we should have already been up closer to 2K so that the green day could be relative for the momentum here in this move. So we got to be extremely careful not to give back, being that we undercapitalized already so much. Well, 55 lows. We're back at 75. It's a good bounce. We didn't pull back for long there. It's kind of hard to say, though. I'm going to throw out just a really small order. Our 5-minute candlestick is under some stress, but I do like that we're back over 65.70. Don't trust it for size just yet for me, so I'm just going to kind of take it slow here. $55. No, okay, this looks like it's just downtrending here. 5-minute setup and or VWAP might be the only hope, but I don't want to take the falling knife, so I'm going to sit back and wait for the red to green. As long as it's not V-shape, we should have a chance. So mental. I got to call Tim today to or actually there's this guy in the chat room actually. I want to make another hotkey on Weeble. I'm having some trouble making this hotkey. I got to call one of the guys to help me dial it in. So we got lows there 35. 35 lows. It still looks pretty bullish. I mean, if we zoom out, of course, right, the stock is still in this massive uptrend the last couple of days. It's just a matter of, are we going to be able to get a good entry here in this area? I'm going to throw out another couple shares. It's hard to tell if it's ready to start curling, but mm, see that right there is, can we linger and hold the candlestick? If not, I'm gonna cut this trade. Kind of in a little higher 77 average. If the candlestick doesn't hold up here for this 1 minute candlestick, I think I'm gonna have to try again. Because we did get such a quick push, I'm open to trying it a little lower, but small size as well. And then I could add aggressively on the way up if it's good. It almost seems like I need to just take on the entire range, which is just so risky to do. It's kind of, I mean, it's like a 40-cent range. That'll require more shares. Man. Definitely a bit of a tough one right there. We gotta stay the course though. Stay the course. Wait for a chance. If it goes here, I think, maybe a pullback trade could work, but not willing to take the breakout here with size. Gotta stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. Damn it, bro. I freaking basically missed the trade there. Can we see a good dip? Early dip that holds up nicely and high? Dang, not red to green, man. Like you know, 760. Dip a little more for Pastor, please. Did I get the fill 18? We got new highs of 42. Taking the micro here, tighter stops, watching to see if we can retest. Bro, I cannot get the chance to freaking add, man. Holy smokes. How do I keep fumbling these moves every day? How does this happen? This is where I'm going to say I'll go mad, right? In your mind, you know exactly what should happen. And then on paper, it's the slums. Well, nobody ever said it was going to be easy, right? Ay, ay, ay. Holding for dear life here. Can we see over 40 again with the small size? I'm going to take an added fifth at 95. It's still pretty bullish unless it wants to retest the previous lows. You know, I'll give it a shot here. Curse my paper hands, man. We need diamond hands here. Diamond hands. The stock needs the trade needs to play out one way all the time, which is me stopping out at the end of support or not at all. All right. I sold half right there, break even for no apparent reason other than paper hands. Fighting the urge to take quick trades here every day to create new discipline. Pastor, pastor, pastor. So, will we hold up our previous lows here that we just priced in and see a small red to green? If not previous lows, this might be the next stop. But if we're in the event that we can hold up, watching to see how far we can go here. What's the time? So we're like on a miniature flag here. I don't love how we're seeing these higher prices and then like 15-cent drop in the bid. Can we sustain our boost? There's 30. There's 30 again. Execution, man. Holding with diamond hands here. We do have a small topping wick. How well can we hold up our previous lows? If not, VWAP is all the way down there at like 750. Just imagine how it feels every day when you come in to trade and you trade at your potential every day, all the time. You're going to be at complete peace. Yeah. Too slow. It looks like it might retest the highs here. I might take a breakout trade depending. No fills. Not guaranteed that it goes, of course, but I think it should. I think it might. For 40. And there's a seller at 30. That's getting filled. You see, it makes complete sense why a lot of the scalps are not like working. It's just so obvious with the price movements. Whoa, that's not good. Somebody, Save sold right there. Save just sold 70,000 shares. It might sell off here. Let's be careful. Because that's off the new high. Like this stock right here, just which we're seeing, it's some craziness right now. Will it go? Okay. Took a starter at the breakout level. We're not really seeing anything there. I'm honestly not loving the craziness, like the jumps, because it doesn't seem like that type of stock, right? But it's giving glimpse. I mean, if it wants to be that type of stock, no problem. But are we slow and steady, or are we giving big breakouts in short time frames? We could see a new breakout, like a new leg, but we need to sustain 40 and 50. Like right here, I want to just hold this position and not even consider selling. Can we see like 890? Because if we're gonna go into a new leg, 890 should be imminent. Like 880, 890, 895. So I'll just hold the small shares if we can sustain 40 and 50. And I'm just gonna let this diamond hands. But my average is pretty high though. That's the only like bad thing about this trade. You know, I'm in 48. Okay. I mean, it might even go to like 950. I'm gonna watch pullbacks here. Like that one, although it's a little aggressive. We don't want to see another drop like that right here though. That would cook us. We'd become cook stew very quickly. Diamond hands, diamond hands. Stop at the support. Diamond hands. Come on. Hold your ground. You son of a gun held. No fills on those two trades? I'm kind of struggling in terms of like, are we holding this uptrend or not? You know, I mean, we are seeing longer bounces, like it's taking longer to play out, but I'd expect us to bounce back here. I'm like getting analysis paralysis. Like we should see 70, 75 again pretty easily if we're gonna maintain the uptrend here. $69, show me 75, 85, 90 again. There's 67. And I am taking the gains for a couple cents. Only baby size this time. It's still bullish though, so I'm gonna keep watching until it like really shows backside. But right here, because we're not sure where the low is gonna be, I'm gonna just use small size and then start to scale in some more once we really get a bottom. We got to make sure not to get ahead of ourselves, continue to manage risk, continue to use size accordingly. It's not the day we would have wanted it to be up 3, 4K already, but you know, slow and steady. All of that just has to do with execution and sizing in the right areas. So a lot of good things here so far and taking it slow. Look at that. We've kind of priced in a low. I'm going to add a little higher here because it looks like we might just be able to get through 75 this time. Riskier trade, of course, not being in where I'd want to be, but giving it a chance. The chance is not going. Can we see 75.80? I'm actually going to add again. We should see 90 here if it's good. Okay, maybe not. That's like the Ross. Oh, there, man. Let me not call the stock names. Look at that. Of course, the moment I sell, it's immediately at 90. This is definitely a breakout trade, you know, but do we have what we need to get through 90 or do we need to pull back again? It might need to pull back if it's, you know, if we don't have that volume. The moment I want to stop trading this stock is going to be the moment that it does something that is not expected in terms of the pullback, in terms of the range, in terms of the trend we're seeing. That is going to be the moment I stop and should really be going short, honestly, when that time comes. '90s playing hard to get. The whole time thing is just, I mean, I mean, I'm just seeing how the scalps would just be brutal, you know? Even some of the micros makes it tough because even then we're not really getting an instant move. Oh, I got filled. Okay. Are we a late bloomer here? Okay, yeah, we are. There's 920. So like now we're breaking into the next level again, so we should keep going to 950. Hopefully Sabe doesn't sell 500,000 shares here. And we can see this sweet move. Can we see the sweet move to 950 as we broke into the new range, into a new threshold? Diamond hands. 30. We're here 35 and 40. There's 33. And there's a seller. So I'm taking something. Maybe it might not go all the way to 50 right away. That's like 30,000 shares to sell at 933 or 930 area. Somebody's, you know, unwinding some profits. Can we maintain? I don't love my average here. Got to be careful just in case it pulls a quick one. I think the pullback is fair so far, pretty fair. We did break out into the new barrier or over the new resistance or the old resistance. We had a new high. Some people took some gains. The key now, because short sellers are not in control, the key is will we be able to sustain the pullback to try again over the new, over the high of day level. We did have a bit of a wick on the last candle, some selling on the 5 minute, so just gonna keep my guard up. But so far so good. I think everything looks good. Just gonna diamond hands it to the support level again. Diamond hands, diamond hands. Oh, okay, stopping out. That one looked good, but we are making new lows. All right, this is where it's gonna do something I'm not expecting here, right? So time to go short. I am on the sidelines. If we do see an aggressive red to green here, it's still pretty bullish, but not liking that we're breaking down our previous levels there. We'll see what it does. Is it backside or is it a bigger dip here? But typically if we're gonna break over that resistance, we want to maintain it at least in proximity. That dip there went all the way down to 60 after $9. So could be a 5 minute pullback, could be backside. So a bit of a haircut, which is normal for the beginning of backside. Bro, the stock yesterday, like, just this stock is like the same stock from yesterday, but the only difference is that early we didn't break down and have the move start from the lows to where I could be at a deficit in terms of getting in on the setup, and that happened multiple times yesterday. Like a good setup just fails miserably, and then there's a strong red to green going up in a place where I'd expect the stock to just sell off. This one actually held up the key levels, and yeah, I do need to be going short here. This profits for getting left on the table, but it's a good day and I'm out of here. That's gonna do it. More of this, more consistency from stocks, more consistency for myself, and in no time we can start capturing these moves efficiently, and add the size eventually. Once the size comes, then the P&L gets exponential. But before that, just got to keep every day working on holding. Keep working on holding it. And then this is just going to be a formality over time. But it's not going to be easy. There's going to be days like yesterday where, the stock kind of just does its own thing, right? And we got to be very careful to manage risk. So I'm not up the amount I would want to be up for this move, but it's a great step in the right direction in terms of just, knowing that what we're working on is bulletproof essentially. It's just going to take time. So Sage has shares usually, right? There's usually some cheap locates. Some people might try the panic flush dip and rip here because we dropped down without a green candle really from 930. We're down at 790. So if it resumes lower or sideways, some people might watch for the quicker bounce, but I'm just gonna take the green and walk away. But good call to just say if it does something outside of the ordinary for what we expect the trend to be, to just not get back in lower and avoid the move down. Slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady every day. But those last 2 days are pretty rough, but slow and steady. We have a decade, we have 10, 20, 30 years. We're gonna be here till we're 96. We have so much time to just every day, slowly. Well, it's just even if it takes another 2, 3, 4 months, it doesn't matter. Because once it happens, we know what it'll be. It's just slow and steady and just enjoying these slower days. Can't lose discipline, can't lose the composure, the consistency, but just slow and steady. Once we get to that place of refinement, I think it'll be better than last time even, but we'll have to see. We'll see. Slow and steady. On the days where the curveballs are coming though, just I think got to take a page out of Big Steve's book and, still work on managing risk with the size. We've had some really good red days this month in terms of, hey, $150, that kind of thing. But a few days we let it get away from us, so still have to keep working on sizing and because a day like yesterday we had opportunities still, right? Which is why we kept trading, but gotta kind of have that cap and just keep the red to a minimum so that even when we're at a place where we're more consistent on the days where it's not going so good, we can have smaller red days. But I'm out of here. I have no faith in this thing curling back up. Maybe at power hour. Again, if we zoom out, right, we're in still a pretty bullish trend here, like compared to yesterday, the day before, and even the day before that. But in the short term, we're definitely seeing more of a sell off, bit of selling pressure. So there's 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds to resumption. Is the insta buy gonna work? I'd probably buy some more right here. 82. Can we hold 80s and continue? I would have took a loss there for a couple cents. And then there's the move to 98. But even then, it's not sustained. It seems like it's going to be a longer duration trade here. But that like quick scalp there, I'd be in at 84, 82. I'd have stopped out at 76, and then it reaches 98, but instantly back down from 98 to 80. It's like that trade didn't really have the chance to bounce really. Like we could have at least got over $8, a chance to take profits and then dip. But the good news is with this market, right, is that this stuff is here and we have time. So I think those are two very good things working with each other. Beyond that, we'll keep putting in the work slowly and steadily. Did anybody get to go short higher up? It is tough to take the trade though. No, I mean it's never going to be easy, right? Because in all honesty, we did break down the 870 level, but we could have easily crawled right back over that level and got back over 9 and retested the 930 highs, and it could have kept going. So, it's never going to be easy. LFS pushing up for those of you who are going to keep going. Let's see, does it look any good? If I traded this stock the same way how I would normally trade like last year, like in terms of the quicker moves, I'd have been red like 3K. Isn't that crazy? Because in every area where we'd be in, it's just the move is just too slow to move to where I'd be out for like a 5 to 10 cent loss, and it would have happened almost every area. It's crazy to see how much slower the stocks are moving, even though the volume is still somewhat relative. This is why they're saying like in business you have to continue to make adjustments. LFS. I don't know. The first daily candle to make the new high will be at 880. The daily chart is what's kind of like a little iffy. I wonder if there's breaking news. It's a good push over 8 though. So over 760, $8. Nice move. The halt is at 52. Being at the daily chart, we have other candlesticks. Our short sellers covering. Is that what's causing this move up? Let's check LFS. Um, hmm. This is a pretty big drop here. Mm, the drop is a little much, but here, let me put it on the screen. I'll FS. This has quite the range, right? Quite the spread as well. Okay. Spread is kind of brutal. There's definitely opportunities on this one, but I think I'll take the gains and walk. It does look decent though. I will say it doesn't look bad. The spreads though are a little big. I'm gonna take the green and walk. Gonna take the green. Man, this chat room, I tell you. All right, guys. Tomorrow is what, Friday? All right, for those of you going the distance, continue to be disciplined, continue to be patient. Trade the best, leave the rest. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Today I give myself a B+, A- rating. We did kind of undercapitalize because in some key trades we didn't push as much size. But all in all, I think we did a good job, good analysis, and very proud of like stepping back when we noticed like there was a potential backside, because sometimes it's so easy to buy the dip again and, you know, get caught into the move down. So, you know, still working on holding longer, still working on the execution of being in the right areas. But still a good ways to go to be in a place where I feel comfortable and comfortable to use very aggressive size. So just going to keep taking it slow and steady. With that being said, the thumbs up. Stay safe, stay green. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.